Hello everyone, Dennis here. In this video, I'm going to discuss with you GCE O-Level Mathematics October-November 2017 paper, Paper 1. The subject code is 4048. This video is brought to you by Ace with Dennis. Now, learning can be smart, not hard. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell notification button to stop missing out free lessons from me. Alright, let's start discussing the paper. Question 1. Given that 1 over 81 equals 3 to the power of k, find the value of k. 1 mark. So from the equation 1 over 81 equals 3 to the power of k, 81 is 3 to the power of 4. And this is a fraction. We make it to be 3 to the power of negative 4 equals to 3 to the power of k. Now we compare the power. We can see that k equals to negative 4. Hence, answer is negative 4. Question 2. A range of values of x is represented on the number line below. Question. Write down inequalities that represent this range of value of x. 1 mark. As you can see from this number line, the range starts from negative 3 with a white dot. That means it is not inclusive of negative 3 and ends at 6.5 with a black dot, which means it includes 6.5. Hence, the answer will be negative 3 less than x and less than or equals to 6.5. Question 3. The stem and leaf diagram shows the masses in grams of some apples. For these masses, find A. The range. 1 mark. So the range formula is the largest data minus the smallest data. So this is the largest data, which is 228. And this is the smallest data, which is 191. Hence, the range will be 228 minus 191, and we will get 37. Therefore, answer is 37. B. Find the median. 1 mark. So from this stand and leaf diagram, we know that the total data is 20. So we take 20 divided by 2, which is 10. So this means that median is between the 10th and the 11th data. Hence, from the stand and leaf diagram, this is the 10th data. And this is the 11th data. So median will be the 10th data, which is 208, plus with the 11th data, which is 210. Then we divide by 2. And we'll get 209. Hence, the answer is 209. Question 4. Sketch the graph of y equals negative bracket x minus 8 times x plus 3 on the axis below. Indicate clearly the values where the graph crosses the x and y axis. So here are the axes, and this question carries 2 marks. So to sketch this quadratic graph, we need to follow 4 steps. Step number 1, identify the shape of the graph. So given that the equation is y equals negative bracket x minus 8 times x plus 3, we expand the 2 brackets, we'll get y equals negative bracket x squared minus 5x minus 24. And then we expand the bracket again, we'll get y equals negative x squared plus 5x plus 24. So from this equation, we can see that the coefficient of x squared is negative. Hence, the shape of the graph will be sad face. So now we have identified the shape of the graph. We move on to step number 2, which is to find the x-intercepts. To find the x-intercepts, we let y equals to 0. So the equation becomes 0 equals negative bracket x minus 8 times x plus 3. Then we solve this equation, we'll get x equals 8 or x equals negative 3. So now we can mark these 2 points on the axis, which is -3 here and 8 here. Next, we move to step number 3 to find the y-intercept. To find the y-intercept, we let x equals 0. Hence, the equation becomes y equals negative bracket 0 minus 8 times 0 plus 3. And we'll get y equals 24. So let's mark on the y-axis. This is the y-intercept, which is at 24. Next, we move to step number 4, which is to find the turning point. So for this case, it is the maximum point. So the x-coordinate of the maximum point is the middle number between -3 and 8. Hence, we can calculate the x-coordinate of the turning point by adding 8 and -3 together, then divided by 2, we'll get 2.5. Then we find the y-coordinates of the turning point, which is substituting x equals to 2.5 into the quadratic equation given, we'll get y equals negative bracket 2.5 minus 8 times 2.5 plus 3. We calculate, we'll get 30.25. So here is the maximum point with the coordinates of 2.5, 30.25. So this is the line of symmetry at 2.5. Then we join all these points together, we can get the sketch of the graph of y equals negative bracket x minus 8 times x plus 3. Question 5. The diagram shows the speed time graph for a car's journey between two sets of traffic lights. The shaded area represents the distance traveled. The distance traveled is 693 meters. Question A. Calculate the greatest speed, v meters per second, of the car. 1 mark. So, the distance traveled from a speed time graph is the area of the shaded region, given that the distance is 693, and we can apply the formula to find the area of triangle. For this case, is half times 84 times v. And we solve this equation, v will equals to 683 times 2 divided by 84. We calculate, we get 16.5 meters per second. Hence, the answer is 16.5. Question B. Calculate the acceleration for the first 34 seconds of the journey. 1 mark. So, to get the acceleration, it will be the gradient of the speed time graph. So, the time is the first 34 seconds, which is the rise over the run. So for this case, the rise is 16.5, then the run is 34. So 16.5 over 34, we calculate, we'll get 0.485 meters per second square. Hence, answer is 0.485. Question 6. Given universal set equals integers x, where x is between and inclusive 1 and 12. The Venn diagram shows the elements of the universal set and 3 sets A, B, and C. Use one of the symbols below to complete each statement. Alright, before I show you the statement, let's recap what do all these symbols mean. Alright, so the first symbol, this is 0 or null set. This is proper subset. This is not proper subset. This is not element of. This is element of. And this is universal set. Okay, so question A. Sets with elements 2 and 10 is what for set A? 1 mark. Alright, let's study the Venn diagram here. We have 2 and 10. So 2 is here and 10 is here. 10 is here. So these two numbers is inside set A. Hence, this set is the proper subset of set A. Then B. 3 is what B? 1 mark. Okay, so as you can see, the difference between A and B, right, is that A we have curly bracket, then B there is no curly bracket for the 3. So in other words, this is an element. So this element, is it inside set B? Right, let's look at the Venn diagram here. Here is 3. So the 3 is inside set B. Hence, it is an element of set B. Next, C. B intersect with C equals 1 mark. Alright, let's see the Venn diagram. This is the region of B intersect with C, and we can't see any element inside this region. Therefore, it is an empty set. Next, question 7. Pavin runs a squash club. 58 of the members are adults and 37 are children. Her aim is that at least 70% of the members should be adults. Work out the smallest number of adults that would need to join the club in order to achieve her aim. 3 marks. Right, so to answer this question, we let x equals the number of adults newly joined. So currently, we have 58 members are adults. So we plus with x, which is the number of adults that newly joined, then divided by 58 plus 37 plus x, which is the new total number of members. Then we multiply with 100%, and this value must be greater or equals to 70%, because the question says the aim is at least 70%. Alright, now from here, 58 plus x over 95 plus x is greater or equals to 0.7. So we solve this inequality. 58 plus x is greater or equals to 0.7 times 95 plus x. Expand the bracket. On the right hand side, we will get 66.5 plus 0.7x. Then bring the 0.7x to the left hand side. We get x minus 0.7x greater or equals to, bring the 58 to the right hand side, becomes 66.5 minus 58. We will get 0.3x greater or equals to 8.5. X will be greater or equals to 28.333. So since x is the number of adults newly joined, so we need to round it up, where the minimum number of adults will be 29. Hence, the answer is 29. Question 8. The diagram shows a regular pentagon ABCDE and 3 of the sides GE, ED, and DF of a second regular polygon. Angle ABC equals 108 degrees and angle CDF equals 96 degrees. Find the number of sides in the second regular polygon. 3 marks. So to answer the question, the first thing we need to do is to find what is the angle FDE, which is the interior angle of the unknown regular polygon. So first, since ABCDE is a regular pentagon, we can find angle CDE, which is also 108 degrees. Then, to find angle EDF, it will be 360 degrees minus 108 degrees minus 96 degrees, which is 156 degrees. Then we can find the number of sides for the second regular polygon. The formula of interior angle of a regular polygon will be n minus 2 times 180 degrees divided by n. And for this case, the interior angle is 156 degrees. Then we can start to solve this equation, where 180n minus 360 equals 156n. Next, 180n minus 156n equals 360, which is 24n equals 360, n is 360 divided by 24, which is 15. Or we can use the exterior angle to find the number of sides for the regular polygon. So first we need to find the exterior angle, which is 180 degrees minus 156 degrees, and we'll get to 24 degrees. The n will be 360 degrees divided by 24 degrees will get 15. Therefore, the answer is 15. Question 9. Given this diagram, a solid cylinder has radius r cm and height h cm. A solid hemisphere has radius r cm. The volumes of the cylinder and hemisphere are equal. Work out in terms of r the total surface area of the cylinder. 3 marks. Alright, so from these two diagrams, we can see that both cylinder and the hemisphere has the same radius r. And given that the volumes of the cylinder and hemisphere are equal, we can write V1 equals to V2, where V1 is the volume of the cylinder. The formula is pi r square h. Then the volume of the hemisphere is 2/3 pi r cubed. So we can cancel the pi from left and right hand side and r square with r cubed. So equation becomes h equals 2/3 r. Next, we find the total surface area of the cylinder, which is 2 pi r square, and this is the area of the circles for the top and the bottom, then plus with the curved surface, which is 2 pi r h. And we know that h is 2/3 r. We can substitute into the equation. So 2 pi r square plus with 2 pi r times with 2/3 r. We expand the bracket. We get 2 pi r square plus 4/3 pi r square. Then we can add these two terms together. Since they are like terms, we will get 10/3 pi r square. Hence, 10/3 pi r square is the answer. Question 10. Given this diagram, the diagram represents a plot of land ABCD, which is to be used for a park. A. Construct the perpendicular bisector of BC. 1 mark. Alright, to construct the perpendicular bisector, first we place the compass where the needle is pointing at point B, and we open the leg of this compass where the distance between the needle and the pencil should be more than half of the line BC. Next, we draw a curve like this. Then, we do the same thing by placing the compass needle at point C, and again, we don't change the distance between the pencil and the needle, which we have drawn for the first curve, and we draw the second curve. Next, we can join the intersection point between these two curves, and this line will be perpendicular bisector of BC. Next, question B. Construct the bisector of angle ADC. 1 mark. So to construct the bisector of ABC, then first we point the needle at point D, and then we can draw a curve like this. The distance between the needle and the pencil can be any distance. Next, we point the needle at the intersection point of the curve and the line CD, and then the distance between the pencil and the curve can be slightly bigger than the previous one. Next, we draw a curve like this. After that, don't change the distance between the pencil and the needle. We place the needle at this point and draw second curve. Then, we connect the intersection point of these two curves with point D. So this line will be the angle bisector of angle ADC. Next, C. A cafe is to be built in the park, near to C than to B, and nearer to AD than to CD. Shade the region where the cafe is to be built. 1 mark. Alright, so there are two criteria to meet here. First, it has to be nearer to C than to B. So we would need to refer to the perpendicular bisector. So it will be the right hand side of the line. And then second criteria is it is nearer to AD than to CD. Then we need to refer to the angle bisector that we have drawn in part B. So since it is nearer to AD than to CD, the region will be below the angle bisector. Hence, combining these two criteria together, this will be the region that we need to shape. Question 11. Solve 3x minus 4 over 2 minus 2x over 3 equals 1. 3 marks. So this is algebraic fraction question. So the first thing we need to do is we need to make these two fractions to have the common denominator. The LCM of 2 and 3 is 6. Then for the numerator, for the first fraction, it becomes 3 times with 3x minus 4. And the numerator for the second fraction becomes minus 2 times with 2x. Then equals to 1. Next, we just move the 6 to the right side and expand the bracket. We have 9x minus 12 minus 4x equals 6. Then we solve this equation. 5x equals 18 and x equals 18 over 5. Hence, 18 over 5 is the answer. Question 12. ABC is a triangle. Vector AB equals 5, negative 1. Vector AC equals negative 1, 8. Calculate the length of BC. 3 marks. So before we want to calculate the length of BC, the first thing we need to do is we find the vector BC. So vector BC, we can apply the chain rule, which is vector BA plus vector AC. Given vector AB, hence vector BA will be minus vector vector AB plus vector AC. Then substitute the values. We have minus vector 5, negative 1 plus negative 1, 8. We calculate 1 by 1, negative 5 minus 1 and 1 plus 8. And the result we get is negative 6, 9. Now we can apply Pythagoras theorem to find the length of BC, which is square root of negative 6 square plus 9 square, which is then calculate it is square root of 117, and the value is 10.8 units, rounded up to 3 SF. So 10.8 is the answer. Question 13. Nur invested a sum of money in an account paying compound interest at 2.5% per year. After 4 years, the money had earned total interest of $674.79. Calculate the sum of money Nur invested in the account. 3 marks. So this question is a compound interest question. We will apply the compound interest formula, which is S equals P bracket 1 plus I to the power of N. So given the total interest is $674.79, then the S will be P plus I, or the principal plus with the interest. The formula becomes P plus I equals P bracket 1 plus I to the power of N. Then we substitute the values given, where the I is $674.79. The interest rate is 2.5%. So it's 2.5 over 100. So the equation becomes P plus 674.79 equals P bracket 1 plus 2.5 over 100 to the power of 4. Then we simplify. It becomes P plus 674.79 equals 1.10381p. Then 1.10381p minus p equals 674.79. which is 0.10381p equals 674.79, and p will be 674.79 divided by 0.10381. Calculate, we get the principal is $6,500.06. Hence, $6,500.06 is the answer. Question 14. A. Factorize completely 2x squared minus 5x minus 12. 2 marks. There are several ways to factorize this expression, and over here I will show you the cross multiplication method. So let's build out the table here. First we look at the first term, 2x squared. The factors for 2x squared is x and 2x. So x and 2x multiply together will get 2x squared. Then we look at the third term, negative 12. The factors for negative 12 is negative 4 and 3. So negative 4 times 3 will get negative 12. So now we cross factorize 2x times negative 4 we get negative 8x. And x times 3 will get 3x. So these two terms add together will get negative 5x, which is same as the middle term. So this combination is correct, and therefore the first factor for this expression is x minus 4, and the second factor for this expression is 2x plus 3. Hence, x minus 4 times 2x plus 3 is the answer. B. Hence, factorize completely 2 times 2y minus 3 square minus 5 times 2y minus 3 minus 12. Write your answer as simply as possible. 2 marks. So to factorize this expression, the keyword here is hence, which means you have to use the answer from part A to factorize it. So given this expression, before I want to factorize it, we'll let x to be equals to 2y minus 3. Hence, the expression becomes 2x squared minus 5x minus 12. And if you look at it, it is the same expression as part A. So we know that if we factorize this expression, we'll get x minus 4 times 2x plus 3. So the next thing we need to do is just substitute the x back to 2y minus 3. So the expression becomes 2y minus 3 minus 4 times 2 times 2y minus 3 plus 3. Then we simplify further. We have 2y minus 7 times 4y minus 6 plus 3, or 2y minus 7 times 4y minus 3. So this is the simplest form. The answer will be 2y minus 7 times 4y minus 3. Question 15. Given this diagram. In the diagram, A, B, C, and D are points on a circle center O. AB equals 8.1 cm, BC equals 13.8 cm, and angle BDA equals x degrees. Find x. Show your working and give reasons. 4 marks. To answer this question, first we look at this triangle. So this is a right angle triangle where angle ABC equals 90 degrees. This is because it is an angle in a semicircle. Then we can find this angle ACB using tangent angle ACB equals the opposite side, which is 8.1, divided by the adjacent side, which is 13.8. Then we solve this equation. Angle ACB equals inverse of tangent 8.1 over 13.8, and we will get angle ACB equals 13.4 degrees to the 1 decimal place. Hence, x equals angle ACB because it is angles in the same segment, and x will be 30.4 degrees. Therefore, answer is 30.4. Question 16. A group of 200 adults took part in a challenge. The table below shows the distribution of the times taken to complete the challenge. A. Calculate an estimate of mean time. 1 mark. So to calculate the estimate of mean time, we apply the mean formula, which is summation of fx dot over summation of f. Then we need to identify which one is the x and which one is the f from the table. So the first row will be the x and the second row will be the f. And to calculate the x dot, we will use this formula, which is upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2. So we have to calculate the x dot for each class. For the first class, it will be 30 plus 20 divided by 2, and we'll get 25. We repeat the same process for the second class, and we'll get 35. The third class will get 45. The fourth class is 55, and the last class is 65. So once we have all these values, then we can apply the mean formula, and we get 28 times 25 plus 84 times 35 plus 62 times 45 plus 21 times 55 plus 5 times 65 divided by the total frequency, which is 200. Then we calculate everything, we'll get 39.55. Hence, 39.55 is the answer. Next, B. Calculate an estimate of the standard deviation of these times. 1 mark. So to calculate the estimate of standard deviation, we just use the standard deviation formula, which is square root of summation of f x dot square over summation of f minus bracket summation of f x dot over summation of f square, which is the mean square. Then we substitute all the values that we have. We will have square root of 28 times 25 square plus 84 times 35 square plus 62 times 45 square plus 21 times 55 square plus 5 times 65 square divided by 200, and then minus the mean square, which is 39.55 square. Then we calculate everything, we'll get 9.42 rounded up to 3 SF. Hence, 9.42 is the answer. Part C. This accurate pie chart shows the age groups of a second group of adults taking part in the challenge. 44 of the adults were aged 21 to 30 years old. Find the number of adults that were aged 41 to 60 years old. 2 marks. So since this is an accurate pie chart, we can take the protractor to measure the angle. So first we measure the angle for this group 21 to 30, and you should get 99 degrees. So from the values given, it means that 44 is to 99 degrees. Then we want to answer the question from 41 to 60 years old. We'll measure the sector for this group, and you should get 72 degrees. So update the ratio. X is the value that we need to find. It's x to 72 degrees. Then we form the equation x over 72 degrees equals 44 over 99 degrees. Hence, x will be 44 over 99 degrees times 72 degrees, and we'll get 32 adults. Hence, the answer will be 32 adults. Question 17. Given this diagram. In the diagram, A, B, and C are points on the circle center O. OC is parallel to AB. Angle OAB equals 2x degrees and angle OCB equals 5x degrees. Find x. 4 marks. So from this diagram, we should notice that OA, OB, and OC are the radius of the circle, hence they are equal in length. Therefore, triangle OAB and triangle OBC are isosceles triangle, which means that this angle will be 2x and this angle will be 5x. And we can see the letter Z here, which means that this angle is 2x because of alternate angles. Hence, in the working, we can say that angle ABO equals 2x because it is the base angle of isosceles triangle. Similarly, angle OBC equals 5x because it is also base angle of isosceles triangle. Next, angle BOC equals 2x because it is alternate angles where AB is parallel to OC. And then we look at this triangle OBC. We can say that 2x plus 5x plus 5x equals 180 degrees. The reason is angle sum of triangle OBC. Hence, we solve this equation. 12x equals 180 degrees and x equals 15 degrees. Therefore, the answer is 15. Next, question 18. A. Use prime factors to explain why 28 times 63 is a perfect square. 3 marks. So first, we need to write down the product of prime factors of 28, which is 2 square times 7, and the product of prime factors of 63, which is 3 square times 7. Hence, 28 times 63 equals 2 square times 7 times 3 square times 7. Then we simplify, we get 2 square times 3 square times 7 square. From this expression, we can see that all the prime factors have the power of 2. Therefore, the answer is, since all the prime factors have powers of 2, 28 times 63 is a prime factor. B. The number 28k is a perfect cube. Find the smallest possible integer value of k. 2 marks. So we know that 28 product of prime factor is 2 square times 7, and we need to find the k, so that 28k will be a perfect cube, and the product of prime factors must have the power which is divisible by 3. So we look at the first factor, 2 square. The k has to be a 2 here, so that it will be 2 cube for 28k. Similarly, for 28 we have a factor of 7, and k has to be 7 square, so that 28k will have a factor of 7 cube. And then as you can see, the prime factors here all are divisible by 3, the power. Hence, the k will be 98. Answer, k equals to 98. Question 19. A tennis club charges by the hour for the hire of its courts. In 1 week, courts are hired for 28 hours by children, C, for 170 hours by adults, A, and for 95 hours by senior citizens, S. The next week, the courts are hired for X hours by children, for 176 hours by adults, and for 89 hours by senior citizen. A. Represent this information in the 2 times 3 matrix P. And the answer here, 1 mark. So first, 28 hours by children, we write this number 28 at this cell. The next information, 170 hours by adults, so followed by 170. Next information, 95 for senior citizens, they write here. So the second row, week number 2, X hours by children, hence we write X here. 176 hours by adults, so this is 176, and 89 hours by senior citizens, so 89 is written here. So this is the answer. B. The charge for 1 hour's hire is $3 for children, $5 for adults, and $4 for senior citizens. Find, in terms of X, the matrix R equals P times if matrix 3, 5, 4. 2 marks. So to calculate the matrix R, we substitute the P matrix with this matrix 28, 170, 95, X 176, 89, and times the charges 3, 5, 4. Then we start to multiply these two matrices together. First, we take the first row of the first matrix multiplied with the first column of the second matrix. And we'll have 28 times 3 plus 170 times 5 plus 95 times 4. We repeat the same process for the second row of the first matrix multiplied with the first row of the second matrix. And we'll get 3x plus 176 times 5 plus 89 times 4. And we calculate everything, we'll get 1,314 and 3x plus 1,236. Hence, this will be the answer. C. Explain one each element in matrix R represents. 1 mark. So let's take a look at matrix R again. The first number is the total amount of money collected in week 1, and second row is the total amount of money collected in week 2. Therefore, we can write the answer as matrix R represents the total amount of money collected on week 1 and week 2 respectively. D. The total amount of money collected for the hire of the courts was the same for both weeks. Calculate X. 1 mark. So since the total amount of money for each week is the same, then we can equate them together. 3x plus 1,236 equals 1,314. Then we solve this equation. 3x equals 1,340 minus 1,236, which we get 78, and x will be 78 divided by 3, which is 26. Therefore, x equals 26. Question 20. In a sequence, the same number is subtracted each time to obtain the next term. The first 5 terms of the sequence are 39, P, Q, R, and 11. A. Find the values of P, Q, and R. 2 marks. So given that this sequence, the same number is subtracted each time, this is an arithmetic sequence. Then we can apply arithmetic sequence, which is Tn equals A plus n minus 1d. 39 is the first term, which is the A. Therefore, the formula is 39, and the last term is 11. So we can let it to be the Tn 11, and the n is 5. So the equation becomes 11 equals 39 plus bracket 5 minus 1d. Then we solve this equation to get the d value. We'll get 4d equals 11 minus 39, which will get negative 28. Then d will be negative 28 over 4, which is negative 7. So d is the common difference, which means that each term is subtracted with 7. So we start with 39 and subtract with 7. We'll get the value of p, which is 32. We repeat the same process to get q, and we'll get answer 25 for q. Similarly, we do the same process again for r, and we'll get the answer as 18. So p is 32, q is 25, and r is 18. B. Write down an expression for the nth term of this sequence. 2 marks. So again, we write down the formula of the arithmetic sequence Tn equals A plus n minus 1d, and we substitute the values. For A is 39 and d is negative 7. Then we simplify this equation, 39 minus 7n plus 7, and Tn equals 46 minus 7n. Hence the answer is 46 minus 7n. C. Explain why negative 246 is not a term of this sequence. So 1 mark. To answer this question, let's assume that this number negative 246 is a term of the sequence. Hence, we substitute this into the formula. Negative 246 equals 46 minus 7n. Then we try to solve this equation. 7n equals 46 plus 246, which is 292. Therefore, n is 292 divided by 7. We'll get a decimal number 41.714 something. From here, we can see that n is not a positive integer because n tells us the nth term. So it is not possible to be a negative or a decimal number. Hence, negative 246 is not a term in the sequence. Question 21. The graphs of y equals 2x squared minus 3x minus 7 and y equals 5 minus 2x are drawn on the grid. A. Explain why the equation 2x squared minus 3x plus 7 equals k does not have solutions for some values of k. 1 mark. So to answer this question, let y equals k, which is a horizontal line. So look at this diagram. When there is a horizontal line, it will look like this. So the horizontal lines below the minimum point, which is here, of the curve y equals 2x squared minus 3x minus 7 do not intersect with the curve. So if I draw a horizontal line below this minimum point, this line does not intersect with the curve. Hence, there is no solution for some values of k. Right? If I draw above the minimum point, then we can see at least have one intersect point or two intersect points. B. The points of intersection of the curve and the straight line give the solutions of a quadratic equation. Find the quadratic equation, give your answer in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. 1 mark. So this is the equation of the curve and this is equation of the line. Since we want to find the solution, we equate these two equations together, which is 2x squared minus 3x minus 7 equals 5 minus 2x. And we rearrange this equation, we have 2x squared minus 3x plus 2x minus 7 minus 5 equal to 0. Simplify, we get 2x squared minus x minus 12 equals to 0. So we have rearranged the equation in a quadratic equation form, and it is in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. C. The equation 2x squared minus 6x minus 3 equals 0 can be solved by drawing a suitable straight line on a grid. 1. Find the equation of the straight line. 1 mark. So to answer this question, what we need to do is we need to modify the equation given 2x squared minus 6x minus 3 equals to 0 so that one side or the left hand side of this equation is the same as 2x squared minus 3x minus 7. Right? So what we need to do is we first check the x squared term here. So both of them have the same x squared term, 2x squared, 2x squared. So we don't have to do anything with the x squared term. But for the x term, over here is negative 6x and over here is negative 3x. So what we can do is we plus with 3x for the left hand side so that it becomes minus 3x. So at the same time, we also have to plus with 3x at the right hand side. So 0 plus 3x, we get 3x. So over here, simplify, we have 2x squared minus 3x minus 3 equals 3x. But we don't stop here because we look at the constant term, negative 3, and over here the constant term is negative 7. So we have to minus 4 at the left hand side, same as for the right hand side, we have to minus 4. And then the left hand side will be 2x squared minus 3x minus 7 equals 3x minus 4. So this whole thing is y. Hence, equation becomes y equals 3x minus 4. So this will be the equation of the straight line that we want to find. Alright, now part 2. By drawing this straight line, solve the equation 2x squared minus 6x minus 3 equal to 0. 3 marks. So, to answer this question, we draw the graph of y equals 3x minus 4. So let's build a table with the x and the y value. We can choose the x as negative 2 and calculate the y value, we'll get negative 10. So this is the coordinates of the point negative 2, negative 10. Next, let's choose x equal to 0, right? And the y value will be negative 4. So this point will be the point with the coordinates of 0, negative 4. And let's choose x equals to 2, and the corresponding y value will be 2. So this point will be the coordinates, the point with the coordinates of 2, 2. Let's choose one more point. When x is 4, we calculate the y value. 3 times 4 minus 4, we get 8. So this point will be the point with the coordinates of 4, 8. And now we join all these points together to draw this straight line graph. And the intersection point of the line and the curve is the solution. So for the graph, we can see that the first x value is negative 0.45 and the second x value is 3.4. So these two values are the solution for the equation 2x squared minus 6x minus 3 equals to 0. Question 22. Given this equation, a equals b bracket c plus 2 over 5 minus c. A. Calculate the value of a when b is 12.17 and c is 1.615. Write your answer correct to 2 decimal places. 2 marks. So what we need to do is just substitute the values of b and c into the equation, and we'll get a equals 12.17 times 1.615 plus 2 over 5 minus 1.615. Then we just calculate everything using calculator, and this is the value displayed on the calculator, 12.99691285. So the question asks us to write the answer in 2 decimal places, hence the answer will be 13.00. So answer 13.00. B. Rearrange the formula to make C the subject. 4 marks. Right, so this is the equation given. We need to rearrange the formula so that C is a subject. What we need to do is we move the 5 minus C to the left hand side. It becomes A times 5 minus C. And the right hand side becomes B times C plus 2. Then we expand the brackets for both sides. We'll get 5A minus AC equals BC plus 2B. The next thing we need to do is we move the non-C terms to the left hand side and the C terms with the right hand side. So the left hand side becomes 5A minus 2B. And the right hand side with C will be BC plus AC. They factorize the C. We will have 5A minus 2B equals C bracket B plus A. Then the C will be 5A minus 2B over B plus A. Hence the answer 5A minus 2B over B plus A. Question 23. Given this diagram, a company manufactures 3 sizes of the same brand of shampoo. A. Show that the cost of the shampoo is not directly proportional to the quantity of shampoo. 2 marks. Alright, so to answer this question, we need to check the rate of price for each bottle here. So let's calculate the large bottle. It is $30.80 for 400 ml. So we take 30.8 divided by 400 ml, and the cost is $7.70 per 100 ml. Then we calculate the second bottle, which is $19.25 for 250 ml, and we'll get $7.70 per 100 ml as well. So these two bottles have the same rate. Now let's check the last bottle, $5.95 for 75 ml. When we calculate, we find that it is $7.93 per 100 ml. As we can compare the rates for all these 3 bottles, we can see that the small bottle costs more than the other 2 bigger bottles per 100 ml. Hence, the cost of the shampoo is not directly proportional to the quantity of shampoo shown. B. The bottles are all geometrically similar. The height of the 250 ml bottle is 18.4 cm. Calculate the height of the 75 ml bottle. 3 marks. So since the bottles are geometrically similar, then the ratio of the height cube equals to the ratio of the volume. Hence h1 over h2 cube equals v1 over v2. And we take h1 as the height of the 75 ml bottle. So h2 will be the height of the 250 ml bottle, which is given as 18.4. So the formula becomes h1 over 18.4 cube equals 75 over 250. Then we solve this equation. h1 will be cube root of 75 over 250 times 18.4, and we get 12.3 cm. Therefore, the answer is 12.3. Alright, that's the end of the paper, and that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Do you have any question or doubts to ask? Feel free to write it down in the comment. I would love to hear from you. Do you like this video? Please don't forget to like it and share it with your friends. Until then, see you in the next video. Have a great day ahead and all the best.